Banksia House is located behind the back dune at Casuarina Beach on the northern New South Wales coast. The name Banksia House was derived from two Banksia trees that were on the site. The Banksia thrives in the harshest of coastal conditions. We thought that that would be a really beautiful metaphor for a beach house, and also provided us cues for the way in which to construct and design and detail the building. Myself and the clients are pretty familiar with this part of the coast. We've spent a lot of time here. We really did take some of the physical elements to create stories and narratives through the building that connect to the beach. One of the great experiences of walking down the beach from here is walking through the back dune. It's one of the things that I think is unique about this stretch of coast. You walk through this dense, dappled light, it's quite cool, and you walk out from under the canopy, you see this huge sky, the ocean and the horizon. So we wanted to tell a story about that in the detailing and construction of the building. We've referenced that in these concrete awnings. So you walk through, you feel compressed, it's got a different acoustic quality, and then you walk within the building and there's these high ceilings with more natural light. One of the big strategies was to make a house that connected to the street, so they were engaged with the neighbourhood. From the dining room, there's a large batten screen that can be open, which connects directly to the street. In the time that the clients have lived here, the relationship that they've formed with the people across the street has been quite remarkable. They've almost become a part of the family. One of the great things about this block is because it runs north-south, we were able to create a building with a central courtyard, which allowed light to come into the centre of the building. A completely different living experience to what you'd normally expect on a small suburban block. The clients spend a lot of time at the beach here. One of the things that they love most about that experience is seeing that wet line that runs along the beach. We wanted to incorporate something in the design and detail of the building which spoke about that experience. And so there's a tide line that runs through the masonry 2 block courses high. And what's really beautiful about the home block is that it reveals the aggregate. The way that the water tints the sand a different colour, but also reveals a speckle of pebbles and shell fragments. They see this tide line and it gives them that sense of place and that understanding of where you are and why you're there. In a bygone era, in these little beach communities, you could walk from your house to the beach along people's front yard. We took that as a design strategy for neighbours to be able to walk along the front edge of this property under the Banksia. That heightens their experience of going to the beach. It's also created areas where you can bump into someone and have a conversation, talk about fishing, surfing, what the tides are doing. One of the challenges that comes out of being on the corner block is dealing with public and private realms. We didn't want to put up hard edges. The screening and the fencing give visual privacy, but without losing access to breezes. Each door or window is comprised of 2 elements, one being a solid glazed sliding screen and the other being a batten screen with a fly screen behind it. And what that affords the building is the ability to be closed down, to be secure, but it's also given us the ability to create rooms with a really great connection to the outside. What we set out to achieve was a house that blurred the line between inside and out. It's comfortable throughout the year. It allows you to connect to the street. The high-level glazing is a major part of the experience of this building. You can batten down but still have a connection to the outside. There's a couple of reasons that we use tinted glazing. One was to increase the thermal comfort of the building. The second is that it creates a mirror to the street. When you're walking past the building, the glazing almost disappears and ultimately reduces the visual scale. One of the great experiences of this house is spending a night in the master bedroom. You've got these timber batten screens which allows you to hear the ocean, so it gives you a connection to the outside world. We put a lot of thought into the lighting strategy of the house so that at night the glazing loses its reflectivity and creates a lantern effect to the street. And it's quite a delightful thing to have this very warm glow in the streetscape. The client set out to create a house which connected them more to the outside world. That's the philosophy of the building, to connect to natural elements. It's to connect to the birds in the canopy of the trees. It's to connect to the natural light. It's about being connected to something bigger.